Hey guys, welcome back to another Secret Stories video. Sorry I didn't have one I can't remember if it's been a week or two since I've uploaded one. I've been busy during the week, and then on the weekends I've been out of town at weddings and stuff, so I did kind of record stuff and then just didn't have time to actually edit it, so I just ended up, instead of being overwhelmed and trying to catch up, I'm like, let's just start fresh, and I've tried some new things that have been working really well, so I want to share those instead. So here we go. It's today's Thursday through what is the date? The 14th. So today is Thursday, October 14th. So I started some things this week that I'm going to show you that have been working really well. And I have a lot of my students who are seeing the stories, using the stories regularly. Like they're everywhere, they're pointing them out, which is awesome. But I still have some that aren't quite doing it as much as I like. So I started doing this during our morning meeting, and it has been awesome. And now I have more of my kids pointing them out and using them when they come across words that they don't know. So what I did is I took Jen Jones. She has a poem of the day thing on TPT. I think it was like 20 bucks, but there's literally like 170 some poems, so there's enough for one for every single day of school. I'm inserting that into our morning meeting slides, and then my students are taking turns being the teacher. So when they're the teacher, they get to go up there and call on kids, and we're underlining all the stories we see in the words first, and then we're going through and we're reading it together to practice our fluency. So that's been really awesome, and then I can also use it to teach about poetry if I want to. At this point, we're just using it for identifying stories and fluency, reading together. So I'll show you what that's kind of looked like. Our first poem was Scissors. Oops, sorry. So they found C-I-O-R, A-R, the O's in tool and school. They found the C-H doing the K in school. Mommy E, T-H. Again, we already had those from before. Sneaky Y, O-R, it's Mommy E. So those are the stories they found in Scissors, and then we read it together. We also have a word of the day that they write down, and these are just, again, words I like to use in my vocabulary, or they're words that I know are going to pop up in our either picture book read-alouds or our chapter book read-alouds, or just like tier 2 words, so words they probably haven't heard before, but they will at some point. So they always are finding them in those as well. So today was scold, so they found the O-L, and then they found the C-H, and then E-W in chew, and then out. They noticed the O-U. So that's been really cool that they're noticing that as they're writing these down each day. Then we read eyes. So for this one again, we had T-H, we had A-L, we had O-U, we had EA, and then we just kind of did problem solving, so it wasn't heed, so we tried a short E for ed, so that worked perfectly there. TH, AL again, ED, GH, OR. So again, just tons of stories, and not a long poem, but there's seeing that how frequent these stories are and how they can help us read these words. So that was day 3. We've only done it for 3 days. I didn't do it Monday, I decided to start Tuesday. So this was ours on Wednesday. And today, our word of the day was malicious. So we've found AL, we found us, we found CI, and then when we read it, we're like, oh, malicious. Kind of has like the CI is almost making like that CH sound. And then also they found the AR in harm, and then the in purpose. But then when we got to our poem, I didn't even plan this. I can't act like I did. Oh wait, what am I talking? Oh yeah, delicious. They noticed how too, like the CI, so we know it's gonna be an S sound, but when it's with us, they're like, oh, when it's with us, the CIs wanted to go make the sh sound. So that's kind of cool that they noticed that on their own. But again, tons of stories within this poem. So we had the 2 vowels going for a walk, so we had EA, we had CH, we had UI, TH, sneaky Y and fuzzy. We had us, again, CI, and then us, the O, you feeling left out. We had WH, we had CH, we had, again, EA, and then we talked about how it didn't make sense, so it was a shorty, just being problem solvers. We had another TH, so again, just been great for practice for them to find these stories, and then for us to just practice that fluency together. So honestly, that's been awesome. My kids love being the person who gets to go up to the board. They just call them kids, they underline the stories that they see, and then they kind of lead us when we start going through and reading together. So they get a chance to kind of be the teacher. We're incorporating the stories, we're incorporating fluency, and at some point we'll do some more. We could talk about anything in there, finding different parts of speech and whatever else. But that's just during morning meeting. It takes 5 to 7 minutes. It's quick, but it's helping them pull those stories and get familiar looking for them, especially when they come across an unknown word. Because I don't know this for sure, but I think there's probably a lot of kids who probably wouldn't have been able to known what delicious was off the top of their head. But then when we're practicing finding those two stories and they can get that ending there, it's easy for them to sound at the beginning just using letter sounds and use the stories to get the end of the sound. So end of the word. Anyways, so that's been something really cool that I wish I would have started earlier, but I'm glad I am doing now. The other place that these came up this week has been when we were learning our moon phases. Obviously they know the two O's in moon, the PH in phases, but then also in crescent, they noticed the CE, and then in gibbous, they love finding the us, the one that's feeling left out. So again, just been really cool that they're seeing these everywhere, whether it's science, math, reading, they're seeing the stories in all the words that they're coming across. And I can't remember if I shared this or not, but I have a girl who came up to me one day and she's like, I need to know their backstory. I was like, whose backstory? And she's like, the stories, the secret stories. Like, I want to know why, like, so sneaky why. She wants to know why. Sneaky why is so sneaky. So she's making up her own backstories for the stories, which is actually kind of hilarious. So if she tells me any more what she comes up with, because that's what she's kind of determined to do, is to come up with these backstories. So I'll share those if she remembers to create these and shares them with me. But anyways, if we do anything cool or whatnot, I'll show you tomorrow. I'll maybe just for sure show you the poem tomorrow on Friday and talk about if they come up anywhere else specifically that I remember. But otherwise, I just for sure wanted to share that poem of the day piece because it's a quick and easy way to practice, you know, those two things, looking for stories, fluency, and anything else you want to incorporate into poem of the day. So, see you tomorrow. All right, happy Friday. For Secret Stories wise, I have a game I want to share that we played today, just kind of review the stories and the sounds they make. So, here we go. First of all, we found or realized today that they have officially been told all of the stories. Obviously, some of them come up more and they're more familiar with, but they have heard them all at least once. So that's pretty cool. And this is the game we played to review them today. All right, so it's called Hot Seat. So a student came up and sat in this chair with their back to the board. I play this for vocabulary a lot too. This is the first time we've played this year, but just in general, I usually play with vocab words, but I decided to try it with the secret stories today. So what I did is, because I have a document camera up here and I also have the flashcards. So what I did is I put up a story. I didn't really do Mommy E or Babysitter. I didn't do any of those ones. Okay. So if I would have put up, let's say, the Oi story, that was up on the document camera, and then that is behind them on the board. All right, so the words or the story was on the board behind them. They can't see it. The rest of my class is on the carpet. The kids raise their hand if they have a clue to give about what the story it is, and they can't say the letters that are in it. We said just try to remember the story and have them remember it based off of that. So for like Oi, they would have been like, oh, they're always jumping around and they have a lot of energy. So then they should hopefully have remembered that, oh, the ones always jumping around are OY and OI. So they say oi, 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 and they would tell us what letters are in that story. So like for another one, it would be ION. That would have been like, oh, they stay up way too late and they're really tired the next morning. Sometimes they would give like more hints, like remember they're all sitting on the bed together, hints about what the story looked like a little bit. And then they would say the sound and what letters are in that story. So they really enjoyed it. I think it was good because my students had to think back and remember the story that went with it. And then they, the kid up there obviously had to think about what letters and what sounds that was referring to. So if you don't have a document camera, the flashcards, you could easily just write the letters like CH up there and have the kids remember the story to it and, you know, raise their hand, give that hint and see if they can guess it. And that's kind of 2 new things we've done this week for the stories. So it's been a lot of fun using those poems every morning to get them to find the stories in there, and then that was kind of a fun way to review all the stories this morning as well. So hope that helped, and as always, if you have suggestions or anything cool, let me know in the comments. Okay, bye.